Shabbat Shalom, Yasharahla, Shabbat Shalom. There are always requirements that are very necessary. Really quite necessary at this present moment. Because once we decide that we need to raise the standards, because we have to now, because we have come to the conclusion of who we are now. So we must move and adopt the things that are now required of us, of the Most High, in order to truly show Him that we love Him. So in regards to the man and the woman within Israel, once a man and a woman come together now to form a union, they must now do this according to the law. Meaning each person, both man and woman, has to now do the things that are required of the male and the woman, female, from that perspective. So let me go into it a little bit more to make it more clear what I'm trying to say. So we can start off with Matthew 19:5, and we'll go through to verse 6. So Matthew 19:5, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. Verse 6, wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let no man put asunder. So you were once twain, two flesh, but now you shall become one flesh. That's quite clear. We understand that. We've heard this saying from when we were growing up. We have heard these things from when we were growing up. So let's go deeper into it now. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach. We want to chapter 42. Chapter 42 and verse 10. In her virginity, lest she should be defiled, and gotten with child in her father's house, and having an husband, lest she should behave herself, and when she is married, lest she be barren. That right there is deep. You've got to break that down a little bit. Let's go again. In her virginity, lest she be defiled, and gotten with child in her father's house, and having an husband. So it is not a good thing for a young woman to be found with child while being married, having an husband, while still living at her father's house. That's what we get there. And when she is married, lest she be barren. Okay. Let's stay in the book of Sirach. Let's step back a bit. Let's go to chapter 25. We want chapter 25 and verse 22. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. That is reflecting what we just read earlier in Sirach 42. It is understood that a man should provide for his family. So if a man is going to cleave onto a woman, he obviously take her away from her mother and father. So now he has to provide and do what is required of him to provide for her. What else did it say? Let's see if I'm missing anything. Yeah, and it is obviously reflecting that the woman would portray anger. The woman would not be happy with having a man who is meant to be the head, who is meant to be leading her. However, he is not at all doing what he's supposed to. This is not reflecting not being able to do something. That's not what this is reflecting. This is reflecting you being able to do what is required of you, but you are not. In this situation, a woman, if she maintaineth her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. Impudent. The definition for that goes into cocky and insolent. Cocky and insolent. So this is what the woman would perhaps start to project to you. You know, this cockiness, this insolent behavior, which it will result in you being insulted. disrespectful. Woman lose herself. That's how it's going to be coming across to you. That's what's going to come across to you. And we've seen this in our own experiences. When things not going right and man probably can't, do what he's supposed to be doing certain way, woman get mad and it's pure problem in the household. Fair dues, that woman is out of order anyway. Because at the end of the day, you can't be bucking up against the man in that manner anyway. So the whole thing is turned stupid. So the moment you yourself, the man, is not doing what you're supposed to be doing, there are side effects of that. There are side effects of that, which would be chaos in the household. Right, so let's move on from there. Let's go have a look at 1 Timothy's chapter 5. And verse 8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. So you see, it goes right back into what I was saying. It is expected for you as the Israelite man to take charge, to provide for your family, to provide for your household. Everyone that is under the hedge that you have provided. You must be able to do this. Right. Let's see, where else could I go to see if I can show more on this? 1 Corinthians. Yes, let's see First Corinthians. Chapter 14. Yes, let's go to chapter 14, verse 33. Mm-hmm. 14 verse 33, 1 Corinthians. And the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets. Verse 33, Salakia. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. Lest your women keep silent in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husband at home, for it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church. So again, it is showing you, the man who has the hedge over this woman, you have to lead by the law. So again, the law is here giving us a guideline of certain things that the man must uphold. He must uphold these things because it is lawful to do it. Whatever we are doing as of this point has to be law-based. Has to be law-based. There is more in that, but we only want that bit just to explain that point. We can jump to 2 Corinthians chapter... 2 Timothy chapter 2. Let's see if I can get that. Yes. 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So you see, that's what we have to do. We stick with these words and we make sure that we stay within the truth. So whatever we are doing, us, the Israelite husband, the Israelite father, the Israelite man, we must be doing it according to this. We must. Let's have a look at First Timothy's. So we're not going far, just taking a step back. First Timothy's, and then we want chapter 3, and we can start at verse 1. We'll go through to verse 4. Yes. First Timothy's chapter 3 and verse 1. This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach, not greedy of filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous, one that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? So you see, it is very, very clear cut. We have to stay within the bounds of the laws that are given in order to direct our houses, direct our families in the correct manner, to walk in the ordinances of the law, to keep them. To keep them. Right. So let's have a check at First Peter. We want First Peter chapter 3, and we want to go to verse 7. First Peter 3, verse 7. Likewise ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel, as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. So you see, it's a top-down process. We have to keep our houses in order. It is not in order if it is not following after the laws, if it is not following after what was written and laid down by the Most High for us to abide by, in order to be living and be held accountable in all aspects, because it's the work that we do. That's what comes into question. So we have to implement these things and go accordingly. So let us now go have a look at Ephesians. We'd want Ephesians. So we want Ephesians chapter 5. Ephesians chapter 5, and we'll go to verse 33. Yes, verse 33. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife, even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband. So this is dual, this is twofold. So again, it goes back into what I'm saying. The household has to be led according to the law. And it's a top-down process, because so the woman is under the man, she has to follow the man. The man keeps the laws, the woman keeps the laws. Top-down process. And obviously, this goes down to the children. So we have to do all things and make sure that it is decently and in order to these scriptures. We can actually stay in Ephesians. Just jump back up a few verse to 25. Verse 20. Yes, 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. 26. that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. 27. That he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy, without blemish. We understand this. It must be done by the law. It must be done by the law. All praises. Shabbat Shalom. Yahweh Ba'ashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your Shabbat, and may the Most High bless you all until next time. Shalom.